2-0 against the Braves this year. Steve Ripley, the home plate umpire. There's Stephen crouching behind the plate. Bob Davidson at first. The crew chief, Doug Harvey, at second. And Jerry Crawford at third. Defensively, the Reds have Cal Daniels in left, Eric Davis in center, Paul O'Neill in right. A very fast outfield. Chris Sabo at third, Barry Larkin at short, Jeff Treadway the second baseman, Nick Nasoski at first. Jeff Reed will catch Danny Jackson. If you've never seen Jackson pitch before, you like him. He comes right after the hitters. He has given up only 132 hits in 173 innings. That's remarkable. Also, his strikeout to walk ratio is excellent. 121 strikeouts, and he's given up only about 57 walks. So he's a good one, Danny Jackson. He comes right after you.
It'll be Asaski, Reed, and Treadway to face Rick Mailer, who's only given up 1 hit and 1 other base runner. Ernie Johnson and Billy Sample now join you as the Braves try to match their longest winning streak of the season at 3 games. Five of those 12 have been against the Braves this season. Shallow left center field. Who will take charge? Thomas goes back. Now he's waved off by Blocker. And Terry Gloves at route number 1.
Proper way to do it. Thomas could catch it, but at the last moment, Blocker said, "I've got it." And he yelled loud, and Thomas got out of the way. The outfielder's ball because it's easier for him coming in.
Well, you certainly want someone to take charge, and it's encouraging to see Thomas go out there when it seemed as though the pitch was going to hang up for a while as Jeff Reed awaits the first pitch. And he pops it up on the right side. Gerald Perry has a play. And there are 2 outs. Both pitchers have gone through the innings in fast fashion. Very economical, a 2-pitch inning. And because of that, Jeff Treadway, the number 8 hitter, will take his time, possibly take a pitch to give his pitcher, Danny Jackson, some time. Treadway was hit his first time up. Takes a strike. There's Jackson. Locked up in this low-scoring affair with Mailer. Morrison off his glove. Jim won't have time to recover. That should be scored a base hit. Only the second off Mailer through 4 2/3.
They'll score a base hit, but you ask Morrison after the game, and he'll tell you I should have caught it. It's sliced, and he had it in the webbing of his glove. Bounced away. Infield hit for Jeff Treadway.
Well, it's so hard to time your jump on something like that because the tendency is, as Jackson waits the first pitch, Danny had a good cut at a high fastball and came up empty. Almost always when it's coming at you, you tend to jump a little too soon in an even situation. And that's probably what Morrison would tell you as Jackson takes a fastball in the outside corner. 2 strikes to count.
No, I think he'd tell you he should have caught it. I know Jim Morrison.
I knew you'd get me before the night's over. Mailer comes inside with a fastball. Rick tried to straighten him up. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
NFL football, Kansas City 7. The Atlanta Falcons nothing. 5:40 left in the first quarter.
The 1-2 curveball. Jackson stays off of it. Rick has only faced 3 more than the minimum.
I believe this guy swings the bat pretty well for a pitcher.
He has 5 RBIs to go with his 117 average as he fouls this one not too far from us.
Tampa Bay losing in football 14-0 in the after 1 to Cleveland.
Mailer looking for his 10th victory. The 2-2 stays upstairs. Rick, as he has done most of the season, hasn't walked many, hasn't walked a batter this game. The payoff pitch, ball 4. Certainly with 2 outs, that's not the location that you'd want your fastball, especially with a guy like Cal Daniels. Cal with 12 homers and 43 runs batted in, currently hitting at .279. You see what he's done tonight. Treadway at second, Jackson at first, 2 outs. Braves lead by 1. Been throwing Daniels a lot of curveballs. Cal's been out in front of him. Starts him off there with a curveball. It seems with Virgil that Mailer has been throwing more fastballs the times that those two have hooked up. The 1-0 is outside.
Billy, the control of the starting pitching has been excellent. That was the first walk by the starters in 32, the last 32 in the 3rd innings.
I think if the Braves could match their good pitching with the good hitting that they've gotten, the season would have a few more victories. Sometimes you have trouble coordinating both components. As a 2-0 pitch, curveball through there. 2-1 the count. Chris Sabo is on deck if Daniels should reach. The 2-1 line drive, base hit, center field. Rocker fields, goes to the plate. It's going to be late. The ball is cut off. Jackson goes to third, and Daniels, 44th RBI, ties the game at 1.
He threw him some curveballs, then he tried to get this fastball by him, and you can see the result. A line drive single center field. Locker charged it well, had no chance to get Treadway, who runs well. First and third, 2 outs. Here's Sabo.
And pretty good base running by pitcher Danny Jackson. Knowing that the play was going to the plate, he had to have pretty good speed to go from first to third as Sabo awaits the first pitch. Fouls it down the left field line.
I thought Blocker might have taken a shot at third. I thought that's where he was going to go with the ball because he had no chance to get Treadway.
Good point. Treadway with 2 outs, especially with better than average speed. And Daniels with 1 foot on the carpet. Hit up the middle. Mailer makes a nice play. Rick to Gerald to end the inning, but not before the Reds tied the score. 1 run, 2 hits, and 2 left. After 5 complete, the score is tied at 1. Finishing this series and then travel to Pittsburgh for a 3-game set. Off day Thursday, weekend series in Chicago, and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in St. Louis before returning to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium to face 4 teams: Chicago, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and LA. That homestand from August 25th through September 6th. As you look at Russ Nixon, trainer Dave Pursley to the left. Ronnie Gant will start things off. Ronnie has hit in 11 out of his last 12 games. Currently second on the team in runs scored with 65. Murphy leads with 66. As Jackson throws him a strike. No secret about Jackson. We were talking, Ernie and I, on radio about how a lot of times they tell you that you'd like to see some change of speeds. But I don't think think I've seen Jackson change speeds maybe once or twice tonight. I think he threw a changeup. I can't remember, but it was high and outside.
Some impressive stats right there on Danny Jackson, who's having his best year in the major leagues.
The 1-1. Broken bat. Pop-up. Treadway there. And Jeff puts it away for out number 1.
I'll tell you what these players do, the Braves, they just go up there and lock themselves in, know that they're going to get something hard, and he still allowed only 3 hits. He's had a great year. They know everything's going to be fast. And his fastball obviously moves, and he cuts it. I think he's got a slider and then a curveball, but everything seems to be coming up there with a lot on it.
He's retired the last 11 as Lonnie Smith steps into the box. Lonnie looking for his first hit. He lined the first and grounded back to the pitcher. Jackson making a nice play on it.
Usually you can get by for an inning or two just throwing fastballs or hard sliders like Bedrosian does, but when you're a starter, most people feel you should have a good changeup, but right now he doesn't change speed.
Swing and a miss. 2 strikes the count.
And who's going to change him the way he's going this year? If it wasn't for Danny Jackson, Cincinnati wouldn't be even 7 games out.
Well, if it wasn't for their starting pitching, where would they be? Everyone had expected, as Lonnie misses that slider, the Reds to hit better than they have, but certainly no one had anticipated the pitching prowess.
This looks like a slider, and it is. You can see it go down and in, but it's still got some velocity to it.
With 2 outs, Gerald Perry. Gerald's 1 for 2. Has retaken the National League batting lead.
Both these pitchers pitching like the team party starts at 8:30.
The 1-0. Gerald saw a high fastball in his eyes and tried to get it. Count evens at 1. The 1-1 hit up the middle. Base hit. Gerald has his second hit as the Braves have a base stealer on first with 2 outs for their cleanup batter, Dale Murphy.
Gerald just plays against everybody. Doesn't make any difference. Left-handed, right-handed. And here he has 2 hits off one of the best pitchers in the league. And if he can get a jump, he's going to try to steal. Last time he was on there, he went a couple of times. The pitches were fouled off. But he has 26 stolen bases. Murphy at the plate.
I was wondering whether Gerald would steal or stay there, let Murphy swing. And Jackson goes to first. Danny appears to have just an average move to first. I believe Gerald read it the last time he was on base when Dale was at the plate.
Yeah, it was his first time up. He tried to steal. Murphy struck out.
And Jackson going again. Dale has hit homers in his last 3 games. Had a 3-run homer in last night's contest. Ground ball to third. Sabo. And the inning is over. The Braves in the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. After 5 1/2, the score is still tied at 1. There is our line score. Reds scoring their run in the 5th. The Braves scoring theirs in the 2nd. Thomas a home run to left. The Braves' 4th home run in the series. Murphy, Blocker, and James homering last night. Larkin takes a curveball strike. He's looking to extend a hitting streak to 6 games. Grounded to short and grounded to third his previous 2 at-bats. The Expos have closed some ground on the Mets. Beat them again today 7-4. Pascual Perez the winner. The 1-1. Rick dropped down a little bit sidearm, and Gerald will beat Larkin to the bag for out number 1. Naylor showing a lot of different moves at the plate. He's only quick pitched a couple of times. He'll show you that to throw you off balance a little bit. That time was the first time I believe I've seen Rick drop down 3/4. And Larkin appeared to be surprised a little bit as he started his bat, tried to stop it, couldn't do so, as Davis fouls this pitch right in our booth. Ernie, where was your net?
The net is at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium, rooting for the Falcons.
Count evens at 1. Davis 1 for 2. He singled his last time. He's now hit safely in 14 out of his last 15. As Rick gets a fastball across letter high. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Count evens at 2. Paul O'Neill on deck. Davis has really had a good second half. As now Rick runs the count full. Since June 1st, he's put 57 points on his batting average. As the payoff pitch misses outside.
This guy's turning out to be a pretty good ball player, Billy. Paul O'Neill getting his first chance to play almost every day. And he's knocked in 50 runs, batting .270. He's 0 for 6 in his series, but he's taking advantage of getting that chance.
Davis 26 for 27 in stolen bases, and he's off. The throw's not going to get him. Bounces out in the center field. Gant alertly backs up.
Stolen base have been caught once, and boy, you put him on artificial turf. O'Neill faked the bunt. The throw went right between his arm and his leg, almost hit Davis. Looked like he was hurting a little bit down there with the slide. He didn't play last night because of a stiff neck.
Well, he plays hard, and sometimes when you play hard, you get hurt. As O'Neill misses the 0-1 pitch. Rick throwing him a good curveball.
Of course, a big break for O'Neill was the trading of Tracy Jones to Montreal. Gave him a chance to play every day. Look at the difference right there, the contrast.
The 0-2, another curveball. Rick, that's his first strikeout, and it couldn't have come at a better time as O'Neill slams his helmet.
Big strikeout. Now I wonder whether Russ Nixon will pitch to the next guy, Osaski. As you watched O'Neill, and he hit himself with the bat as he flipped it. They got a base open and 2 down, even though the next batter is a left-hander, Reed. You wonder if they'll pitch to Osaski, and it looks like they're going to.
Well, you're the pitcher in the group, Ernie. I would imagine, though, that they would try to hit corners here because Osaski has beaten the Braves so many times.
The old pitch carefully. Don't give them anything good to hit, but don't walk them. So they're going to, if they get out to, say, 2 balls and no strikes, they might just put him on.
The 1-0. Inside. 2-0 the count. Yeah, after a manager comes out or catcher comes out and tells you that, you almost see the pitcher scratching his head. What did he say? The 2-ball pitch. Davis is going to third. He'll have it easy.
Well, he's still listening on
Virgil's still looking. I think Ozzy's going to make this decision. He kept looking until he got what he wanted to get, and that's to put Osansky on to pitch to Jeff Reed. Jeff Reed had a big hit in the last game of the Dodgers series, the one in which the Reds came from behind, scoring 2 runs in the 8th and winning in the scoring 2 runs in the 9th and winning in the 10th. Reed had a big hit to help tie that game in the 9th.
Now Mailer has to be careful of the balk.
Curveball catches inside part of the plate. Reed's over 2. He's popped to third and popped to first. Mailer has had him out front and starts him off with that curveball. Sometimes when you don't play every day, as Reed does, that off-speed pitch will give you some problems. That time a fastball inside. The count evens at 1. 1-4 and 0 for the Braves. 1-3 and 0 for the Reds. 2 outs.
Mailer appears to be really concentrating on stopping, and he's got to, because he has balked 7 times this year.
Didn't he have the world record breaking balk, I believe, in St. Louis? Another curveball strike. So Rick's ahead of the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reds at the corners. Davis at third. Osansky at first. And Mailer pitching on 2 days rest.
Pitching well again. Second time he's done it.
The 1-2. Osansky's running. Chopped off the plate. Thomas high in the air. Got him. So the Reds in the 6th failed to score. They threatened, though, leaving runners at first and third. And after 6 complete, we're tied at 1. It'll be Thomas, Morrison, and Virgil to face Danny Jackson. Braves batting in the 7th. Thomas has accounted for the only Braves run. That in inning number 2, as he takes this slider out over the plate and hits it over the outstretched glove of Cal Daniels for his 13th home run. As Andres steps to the plate to bring you the Braves 7th and the rest of the way, Ernie Johnson.
Thank you, Billy. Thomas 1 for 2, grounded out last time up. 6 of his 24 career homers, as you can see, have come against the Reds. Andres having a super year. He now has 57 RBIs. Going at this rate, he should be in the 70s for RBIs. The complete season. There's a strike. Morrison on deck. Well hit to left, but Daniels is going to catch it just near the track. Jackson has been no mystery to Andres Thomas. That was a line drive that chased Cal Daniels right to the edge of the warning track.
Well, this one was hit so hard it didn't have time to rise or sink. Looked like another slider. Jackson got it out over the plate, and Daniels was there. 1 out for Jim Morrison.
Morrison is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. And he pops it off to the right. They may have a play. And Reed does right in front of the camera. Right down by their dugout. A minimum of pitches here tonight. 2 outs.
See the end of this play. You see Reed has it sighted and puts it away.
With that mitt that lights up and says, "Eat it, Joe's." I don't know how he could ever miss one. That's one of those old Al Campanis' inventions, really. He was the first, I believe, to make a fluorescent mitt to help his pitchers with their control. Virgil, 0 for 2. And a pitch. Dodgers had all kinds of gimmicks in spring training. They used to put up strings for you to throw between the strings to get the pitch over. 0-1.
There are very few night games in spring training, too.
Yeah. You can see that mitt down low. Virgil grounded to third and popped to second. this guy just keeps coming at you. 2 outs. Top half of the 7th inning, it's 1-1. The Braves try to win there for the 5th time against the Reds this year. It's 6-4 so far Cincinnati for the year. A little bit high. Doesn't look like he's lost any speed. 2-2. Foul away. Count will stay 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Jackson reminds me of another successful American League pitcher that can throw inside to right-handers as effectively as I've seen anyone do it, and that's Frank Viola of the Twins. They can just keep coming inside. You stack your lineup against them with right-handers, and they can get right-handers out, so it really doesn't do you any good to stack the lineup. Sometimes it's good to have those Darryl Perry type hitters, although there are not many of those around, that can wait on the ball from the left side.
Boy, Viola's got a great changeup. Boy. Bouncing ball foul. Next time we get a shot of Danny Jackson close, see if you think, as I do, we ought to put a tennis racket in his hand. He look a little like Jimmy Connor. A little bit.
Yes, he does.
What a mainstay he's been this year, and he's not afraid to sound off about his teammates. Let's go. Let's win this thing. He felt that the attitude, the old drive, was not in his clubhouse, and he let them know about it. And he can say it because he's setting a good example.
You're +10. You can say a lot of things.
Like old Dizzy Dean used to say, it's not bragging if you can do it. And he's been doing it. Their pitching has been excellent lately. ERA under 3. There's a bouncer foul, but they're still 7 games away from the Dodgers, who beat the Giants last night. There's a pistol, one of the all-time greats. Hall of Famer, all-time leader in hits. You talk about a player or a manager being all baseball. There's one. He wouldn't know what to do if he couldn't be at the ballpark. Pitches outside. 3-2. Look at that ERA. Since the All-Star break, 2.97. But as Billy mentioned before, their hitting hasn't been there. And that's a strikeout. That was a breaking ball. We move to the bottom of the 7th. It's still the same. 1-1. Jeff Treadway will lead it off. Bottom of the 7th. Will be followed by Danny Jackson. And I think we have a graphic on runs scored that we're going to shoot up. Treadway leads it off. Curveball in there. Look at the Cincinnati run score last season. 573 and 114. This year, 462. So over 100 runs less this year. And the same team, basically. Really.
With the exception of Parker.
Yeah.
And you knew at some time they were going to have to shift to a younger outfielder, but sometimes you wonder what that intangible is missing.
High fly left. Lonnie Smith should catch it on the track, and it does. Treadway hit that ball a long way to the off field. Right in front of the 375-foot mark is where it was caught. Now Jackson will get a good hand. While we have to pass along some sad news in the baseball world tonight. Baltimore Oriole owner Edward Bennett Williams died today at Georgetown University Hospital following a long bout with cancer. Our sympathies to his family and the Baltimore organization. And also very sad to hear that Don Sutton lost his mother yesterday in an automobile accident over in Alabama. Lillian Sutton was 59 years old. She, as I understand it, riding with her husband in a car. It was a one-car accident. The car went off the road, and Mrs. Sutton was killed. And our sympathies to Don Sutton and his family. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jackson, who's at a sacrifice and a walk. Mailer on his last outing missed winning his 10th game. We all remember that horrendous 9th inning. He wasn't involved in the decision. It went to extra innings. Fouled away.
On the previous pitch, Rick threw him a curveball, and I believe everybody thought it was a strike except Steve Ripley. Jackson even started walking towards his dugout. But that walk that Jackson got out of Mailer in the 5th, a big walk.
Right to the mound. An easy play for Rick Mailer. 2 down. A win would even Mailer's 1-loss record at 10. His ERA is as good as it's been all year at 3.89 coming in. As he pitches for another contract. Here's Cal Daniels. I mean another good contract. He's going to get a contract somewhere next year. He's in the last year of his contract with the Braves.
Ernie, do you think that Rick has an easier time of pitching on 2 days rest because he started basically as a reliever when he first got to the major leagues in the early 80s?
I don't know. Some pitchers just want to pitch with 3 days rest. Some pitchers don't want to wait that long. You know, he's an advocate of the 4-man rotation. He doesn't want to pitch with just 2 days rest, but he can. But he'd rather pitch with 3 days rest. And Cincinnati has now gone to a 4-man rotation because Jackson and Tom Browning are more or less insisting on, hey, I want to pitch on 3 days rest. And there's a shot to first. Perry can't pick it up. That'll be a boot. Cal Daniels reaches on an error. It was right at Gerald. He had it for a moment, then couldn't pick it up.
You could almost see Gerald smile after this happened. Just couldn't find the handle. Some days you have those plays, and some plays you can't do anything but just grin. You've done everything but stuck a fork in it.
Mailer's last outing, remember, there were 3 errors in the top half of the 9th inning that tied the ball game for San Diego. Sabo. Strike. And look for Daniels to go. He has 26 stolen bases, been caught only once. He has the same numbers as Davis. Excuse me? 27 and 5 or 22 and 5? I can't read your writing. 22 and 5. I can read your writing, Bill. I can read your reading, but not your writing. 22 and 5. Where did I pick up that other figure? The party's not till Thursday.
We'll let Fern hop and stand get a little work in so she can put that up on the screen.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runner going. Throw. Safe. 15 in a row for Cal Daniels.
Well, now we'll get it right. 23 out of 28. As Daniels' right foot ahead of the throw. Again, had to take it on 1 hop in his chest. So let's see if the error will prove costly. 2 outs, runner in scoring position, and a 1-2 count on Sabo.
Virgil with a sign, and Mailer pitching. Swung on, driven foul to left. The crowd tonight has got to be over 30,000. Last night at 27,000. Did they send it down? 33,193. One and 2. They'll draw over 2 million here this year. Time call. Virgil out to talk it over with Mailer. They'll decide on the pitch right here.
The Reds will draw 2 million here, and the Braves will probably be 26th in attendance.
Unless there's a miracle, the Braves are not going to reach 1 million, and might be the only team in baseball to not reach 1 million. The only other team struggling, Seattle and Chicago. Got the White Sox. Curve hit foul. Well, we got a lot of promotions and a lot of games left. And fans can take advantage of Family Night, Senior Citizens Day. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a reduction in prices on those special days. Two outs. A go-ahead runs at second. Here it is. Into left field, and it's going to be in for a base hit. So the error by Gerald Perry hurts Rick Mailer as Sabo delivers a run-scoring single.
Rick had thrown him a steady diet of curveballs. This one just a little bit higher than Rick probably wanted it. And Monty with no play as Daniels running from second with 2 outs will score easily.
Watch Sabo. He might go right away. Alvarez starting to get ready. Sabo not going to pitch outside. Sabo has 33 stolen bases. Been caught 11 times. Mailer in his last 2 starts, the victim of some costly errors. 1-0. There he goes, Sabo, and the throw is going to be into center field, and Sabo's going to reach third. Stolen base, error 2. He's at third.
It looked like Sabo spun a little bit when he took off. Almost like in the cartoons, but he got some full acceleration in a hurry. You see him go in head first, the ball getting by Gant, and Sabo alertly runs to third base.
Oh, Spuds. That's what they call him. He runs well and plays well. Bruce Del Canton to talk it over with Mailer. The Braves have their bullpen going. Ed Olwine and Jose Alvarez. Olwine is the lefty. The batter is Larkin. You can recall when we were here last time, back in May, that Sabo tried to steal home while Mailer held the ball. Oops, they tried a little squeeze. It was not a suicide. He tried to beat it out. They have 2 outs. Larkin is fast. Sabo tried to steal home when Mailer was holding the ball, and he threw to Virgil. There was a big collision. He was out, but he hurt his shoulder. His shoulder appears to be okay now, the way Sabo's been hitting. But it had bothered him.
Said it still bothers him some, but it's just one of those injuries or discomforts that you just have to play through. Nothing that a couple of weeks wouldn't help.
2-2 pitch. Outside. 3-2. Davis is on deck. Larkin 0 for 3. Has a 5-game hitting streak. To third. Full Morrison. The throw to second. Late. Well, if they give him a base hit, and I think they're going to, that is being very generous.
I hear the RBI in the background, so it has to be a base hit, and I'm in agreement with you. That's definitely a play that should be made. And I think, as Ernie said earlier, Jim would tell you later that this should be made.
How can you give a guy a base hit on a ball that should be fielded? I guess. This is a major leagues. That ball should have been fielded. The official scorer. Look at this. They give him a double on this and an RBI.
Well, Jim has a couple of steps to his right. And I don't know how you can score that, a base hit. It doesn't matter. The play wasn't made, and the Reds score another run and now lead 3-1.
Davis has been walked intentionally. And O'Neill's the batter, and Olwine is the new pitcher. And once again, Rick Mailer, the victim of shoddy support. He leaves, and Ed Olwine comes on. There you see the line score. While Olwine warms up.
As you see, the number is on Ed Olwine. This is his 10th appearance. 7.82 the earned run average in 12 2/3 innings, 17 hits, 12 runs, 11 of those earned, 3 walks, 1 intentional, and 3 strikeouts. Ed, a finesse pitcher, running fastball, curveball, slider, and a change. He'll face Paul O'Neill. Reds doing all their damage with 2 outs.
O'Neill is 0 for 3, 0 for the series, 0 for 7. Still managed to smile. Well, he's done a good year. Ed Olwine with Davis perched at first and Larkin at second. And the pitch gets away, and they'll have runners at second and third. Wild pitch.
Can we start this inning over? You see Ed's first pitch, about 58 feet. It was a curveball that bounced past Virgil. Now they have runners at second and third. And the chance to put O'Neill on, but not the pitch to Osaski, who's on the on-deck circle.
Three to one. It's Olwine's job to get this guy out. Keep it just at a 2-run deficit. The Braves have 2 more turns at bat. And the pitch is high. Two errors in the inning. Should have been 3. Three balls and no strikes. Osaski on deck. And if Olwine doesn't get this guy, he swings and fouls it away. You'll see Alvarez, I would imagine, against Osaski. 3-1. Mailer pitched 6 full innings, 2/3 here. Time call. 3 balls and a strike. Olwine ready. On the way. Swing and miss, 3-2. Larkin's at third, and Eric Davis is at second.
In his last 2 outings, Mailer has really lowered his earned run average, but he hasn't picked up a victory in 2 well-pitched games.
3-2 pitch. Driven to right field. Murphy got it. Nice catch. A line drive that Murphy caught in short right field for out number 3. Both runs were unearned. However, they count. We go to the 8th inning. 3-1 Cincinnati. Looks like Paul Runge for Olwine. Three to 1 Reds. Last time out, Jackson shut out the Dodgers. He has allowed the Braves 1 run on 4 hits, the 1 run a homer by Thomas back in the second. Now Runge's called back, and Ted Simmons comes to the on-deck circle. Now low, Royster, with a batting average of 172, has run it to 3 balls and a strike. And he lines it to short for out number 1. Now Ted Simmons, veteran catcher, switch hitter. He's batting .254. Couple of homers, 9 RBIs. He'll be followed by Ron Gant.
Number 23, Ted Simmons, batting for 0-1, pitching line for 0-1, with 1/3 of the inning. He had 1 wild pitch.
First pitch, strike. Rick Mailer pitched 6 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 of the runs earned, 4 walks, 2 intentional, 1 strikeout, and hit 1 batter. So another good outing by Mailer, but he's hurting. There's a bounce to the first. He finally found it. Jackson got over there, the throw, and we've talked about this, Billy. When you get the throw at the same time you're near the bag, sometimes you can't find the bag, and that's what happened here.
Well, fortunate for Esaski and Jackson, they were dealing with a runner that didn't have a lot of speed. Ted, power hitter, gives Jackson some time to find the bag, as you see Danny turn around to find where Simmons is, and then found the bag on his next step.
On the replay, it showed the throw was a little bit behind him, so Jackson made a nice play. Here's Gant. 2 outs. And a little pop sawed him off to the first baseman, Esaski. Danny Jackson's been tough at the 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Jerry Royster goes to center field as we start the bottom half of the 8th inning. And Jose Alvarez goes to the mound. He's 3-5, ERA 3.07, has 1 save. We want to say hi to Bill McQueen in Dorset, Vermont. Bill McQueen, a big listener. Also, the Vermont area. Andy Nadowich, Ernie Carlson, Jackie Fitzgerald, Kenny Campbell, a whole bunch of guys that keep watching, keep hoping. Curve outside. They got to be happy about the Red Sox, the way they've been playing. 24 straight wins at home for Boston. And they call them up there the Bo Sox. They're moving in again. There's a drive to left along the line. Fair or foul? It is fair in the corner. And that guy has done it again. Esaski with a double. Boy, the Braves turned that guy on. Look at it again.
Does he ever take a day off?
Not against Atlanta.
See it bounce past Lonnie Smith. But it didn't matter, as Esaski had a sure double as soon as it left his bat.
Now Reed's going to talk it over with Bruce Kim as to what they want to do here. That's a big insurance run out there at second base.
While you were talking about some Braves fans, I wanted to say that Sherry and Barbara Benson are here from Erie, Pennsylvania. They drove down all that way to see the Braves in this series against the Reds.
And we appreciate it. We've got a lot of people who stay at the same hotel that we do, that every time the Braves come to town, they come out, root us on. Did he catch it? I believe he did. It's going to be a double play. Jose Alvarez on a great catch on a bunt attempt. And he gets the double play. Beautiful play by Jose Alvarez.
Well, Jose's an outstanding athlete. If you just see his work habits, you could understand why. Might have taken some of the wind out of him, hitting on that hard artificial turf. As you look at it again. And completes the second part of the play, which was a lot easier than the first part.
Esaski had is almost a third as Treadway pops the ball foul out of play. 2 away. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Cincinnati, the Braves, 1 run, 4 hits, and 2 big errors. Strike. Rick Mailer sitting in the dugout wondering what's happening. Last 2 outings he has gotten very poor support, and he's been searching for his 10th win. And on to first, and at the very easy bottom of the 8th for Jose. We go to the 9th. 3-1 Reds. We go to the 9th, and we'll update you quickly on the other scores. As we like to keep you posted, there's interest in all games, of course. Toronto 1, Kansas City 0 in the 4th. Baltimore 1, Milwaukee 0 in the bottom of the 2nd. Finals, Oakland beat California 6-2. Welch now 14-6. Texas over Cleveland 12-3. Minnesota a big winner over the Yankees, as were the Red Sox over Detroit. Montreal 4.5 back now after they beat New York. Chicago 5-1 over St. Louis. Philadelphia and the Pirates, that's of importance. It's 5-4 Pittsburgh, bottom of the 5th. Bonnie Smith takes the ball. San Diego at Houston, no score, bottom of the 3rd. Up the middle, off the pitch. Can he beat it out? No, he can't. What a play by Jackson. He's got to smile a bit on that one, hasn't he? Danny Jackson on a hot shot, deflected it, and then chased it down. Little smile. He earned it.
In the last 2 innings, we've seen the pitchers come up with some outstanding plays. This one off his wrist. It's amazing that you can find it. Not only does he find it, but he gets Smith by 2 steps.
Time call. The ball got loose in the outfield. Might have come out of the stands, and I think it did. Gerald Perry, the batter. The Braves with 2 outs left. He is 2 for 3. Murphy on deck. If Perry can get on, the Braves still got a chance. John Franco loosening in their bullpen. One of the best relief pitchers in the business. Foul to left, it's 0-2.
Yes, he leads the National League in saves with 24.
He proves once again you don't have to be a big guy to play Major League Baseball. No balls, 2 strikes. Can't say that about all sports. Did he go? No, he didn't. Terry Crawford, the third base ump. They asked the third base ump when the left-hander's batting. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jackson rearing back and firing. He hasn't lost a thing. 2-2.
Well, you could tell that in the 8th. He was breaking bats still in the 8th inning.
And the pitch. Foul away. Just got a piece of it. Last time out, he shut the Dodgers out here. He has allowed 1 run on a homer tonight. Andres Thomas hit it back in the 2nd. Two-two pitch. Hit foul up into the seats and left. Tomorrow we'll have a pregame show with Craig Sager starting at 2:05. The game's at 2:15. Jose Rio against Zane Smith. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He struck it out. Gerald went after a high fastball. Didn't get it. Out number 2.
Possibly Gerald anxious to make up for that error. Chases a pitch out of the strike zone. You can't catch up with Jackson in that location.
Now Murphy, who struck out, grounded out to third twice. The fans now chanting for that last out. And the pitch. Strike. If Cincinnati, and they got a good shot at it, win, and the Dodgers lose tonight, then Cincinnati's back to 6 out, being in 4th place. The next pitch. Swung on net. Yelling their approval. Danny Jackson. And the 0-2 outside. Reed tried to get a call strike from Bob Davison, who said no. Here's a 1-2. Hit foul past third. In an era where you don't have many complete games, Jackson is shooting for his 10th. He's one of the leaders, if not the leader, in the National League. He is the leader. Now the 1-2 pitch, driven to left field. It's going to be caught by Whittingham. And the ball game is over. Murphy hit it well. A line drive by Whittingham. Back to the track. He caught it for out number 3, and Cincinnati has even this series as the fireworks go off. Final score, Reds 3, Braves 1. Back to the totals after this message. Rick Mailer loses a tough ball game. Billy has the totals.
Okay, Ernie, for the Reds, 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They left 8. The Braves, 1 run, 4 hits. They committed 2 errors, 2 costly errors, and 3 left on base. Danny Jackson picks up his 16th victory. He's 16-5. Rick Mailer, the hard luck loser. Rick is now 9-11. The game-winning RBI to Chris Sabo, his 7th. The only home run of the game, Andres Thomas accounted for the Braves run, his 13th home run, that in the 2nd inning. Time of the game, 2 hours and 8 minutes before a crowd of 33,193.
Okay, stay tuned to the Superstation. Next is the Beverly Hillbillies, followed by Cousteau, Rediscovery of the World. Final score once again, and there's the culprit right there, Danny Jackson. Red 3, Braves 1. Our next telecast tomorrow, airtime will be at 2:05 with Craig Sager's pregame show. Till then, for Billy Sample, Pete Van Weeren, and John Sterling, and our entire staff, and Skip Carey on vacation, this is Ernie Johnson from Cincinnati. And on this Saturday night, so long, everybody.